When Halo 5 was announced, I was beyond hyped. Halo was among my favorite franchises of all time, and after my lukewarm feeling towards Halo 4, Halo 5 had a lot riding on it. I followed literally everything they released in the marketing, and never before had I ever been this excited about a game. This is the new Halo. Master Chief is being hunted. Our hero, the protagonist for the last 4 games, did something so bad to warrant the UNSC sending Spartans after not only him, but Blue Team as well. But it's not just that. What's the deal with Locke? He's an Oni Spartan and his team, Fire Team Osiris, has Buck from ODST on it? I am ready. My body is ready. Let's go! When my copy of Halo 5 came in, I immediately popped that bitch in and downloaded it. When it was done, I sat down and began to play, hype exceeding all reason. And it was atrocious. Nothing about what I and many thousands of others had been promised in the marketing material was in the game, and I'm strictly talking about the story. What we saw in the trailers and the tie-in narrative podcast detailed a story of deception, political intrigue, and moral gray areas. What we ended up getting essentially boiled down to, Chief, return back to base. No. I've never seen anything like that or anything else since. The marketing material for Halo 5 Guardians lied to the fans. It's as simple as that. So today, let's talk about what we were expecting versus what we actually got and potentially figure out why that was. On E3 2013, we had our first taste of Halo 5 with a cinematic trailer. In this trailer, it followed a hooded man making his way across some alien desert until a massive phoenix-like machine rose from the ground, causing the man's hood to shoot back, unveiling Master Chief with a broken visor. He clutches Cortana's dead AI chip before looking at the rising behemoth. Cut to black. At this point, we don't know anything besides Halo 5 was being developed. That's it. Speculation ran rampant. Where was Chief? Was he on the Ark? What was he looking for? What came out of the sand? And so much more. We were left wondering for a whole year. Then during E3 2014, 343 announced the Master Chief Collection alongside Halo 2 Anniversary with a fantastic trailer that ended in the unveiling of a new Spartan. And it wasn't just some random Spartan. This was Agent Locke, who was talking to none other than the Arbiter about finding Master Chief. So now we know Chief is on the run, and this man is the one tasked with finding him because, according to the Arbiter, all their lives are at stake. In November of 2014, we had a treasure trove of Halo 5 content. First, the live-action 5-episode series, Halo Nightfall, was released, acting as an origin story for Agent Locke. To briefly summarize the events, Nightfall follows Locke and his Oni unit as they're deployed to the distant human colony, Cedra, to investigate terrorist activity. During their investigation, a city is attacked by an elite terrorist wielding a biological weapon that only affects humans. During their search for the origin of the bioweapon, the unit is drawn to a partially intact section of Installation 04, the Halo destroyed by the Master Chief in the first Halo. Once there, the unit is attacked by a swarm of hunter worms, and their mission turns into a desperate fight for survival. This series received average reviews and for the most part was alright despite the subpar CGI at times. Nothing story-wise for Halo 5 was established other than introducing us to this Locke fella. Also released in November 2014 was the Master Chief Collection, which showcased a new cutscene at the beginning of Halo 2 Anniversary. This cutscene was an expansion of what we've previously seen in the Halo 2 Anniversary trailer. Locke, alongside Spartans rocking air assault, copperhead, and technician armor, are with the Arbiter and his men on some planet. Locke and the Arbiter discuss the legend of the Master Chief and Arbiter's friendship with him. The scene ends with Locke, Arbiter, the Spartans, and the Singhili gearing up as they reach the quote-unquote target. The Arbiter asks Locke if Chief is his friend or foe. Locke tells him Master Chief has gone AWOL and the UNSC want him back. Arbiter tells Locke he's sure Chief had his reasons before they all spring into action against something. Then 2015 rolls around, the year Halo 5 would release. This is when the marketing material for Halo 5 Guardians really began to pick up with the start of the Hunt the Truth ad campaign. Hunt the Truth was the name of the marketing campaign made by the Eisenberg Group, a private advertising company. On Sunday, March 22, 2015, a page on Tumblr unveiled the Halo 5 Bullet trailer. This page acted as the homepage for the audio drama also named Hunt the Truth. We'll get into the story of Hunt the Truth in just a second, but this page released weekly episodes with Season 1 concluding on E3 2015, where the first demo of Halo 5's campaign was shown. We finally were given some names to faces previously hidden in the background. Fire Team Osiris consisted of Agent Locke, Olympia Vale, Holly Tanaka, and Buck, who was one of the previous protagonists in Halo ODST. While Vale and Tanaka's armors matched the Spartans previously seen in the H2A cutscenes, the color schemes are different and the Air Assault Spartan was replaced by Buck. Changes not too drastic, but noticed by some. The second season of Hunt the Truth began on September 22, 2015 and concluded on October 26, 2015, the day before Halo 5's release. While this audio drama was being released, there were also multiple live-action trailers detailing a two-sided conflict, two featuring the aftermath of a fight between Locke and Master Chief, with each trailer featuring the other as a victor. In the Locke trailer, he calls Chief our betrayer and states he was the one, quote, who was supposed to save us all, but now I must save us from you, before pointing his gun at a defeated Chief as the infinity burns in the background. In the Master Chief version of the trailer, he asks Locke, "Is this what you wanted? Is this what you were looking for? Was everything you've compromised worth it?" He approaches the defeated Locke and points his gun at him and says, "You've completed your mission, Spartan Locke. Mine is just beginning." After this, there was another live-action trailer featuring Blue Team and Fire Team Osiris as a Guardian rises from the ground. Now, before we get too far, let's go back a bit and talk about the story of Hunt the Truth Seasons 1 and 2. While I won't be going too in-depth, I highly recommend you listen to the whole thing. It's about 2-ish hours long and is actually really good. It also has a cast that has no right being as good as it is. I've included a link in the description to a compilation of the whole thing. Again, 2 hours, it's incredibly good and definitely worth a listen. Regardless, Season 1 follows journalist Benjamin Giroux as he's hired by the Office of Naval Intelligence to do a piece on the hero of humanity, the Master Chief, aka John 117. Giroux has done work for Oni in the past and is actually the one who took the in-universe photo of Halo 2's cover art. But since then, his star has faded and this is his chance to become known once more. As Giroux conducts interview after interview, he starts to notice some discrepancies. He then learned that Oni had given him actors to interview who pretend to know John as a child, falsifying an origin story. Digging further, he uncovers the truth behind Oni's kidnapping of children, faking their deaths, and all sort of illegal activity to develop the Spartan program. Giroux is eventually contacted by the insurrectionist leader known as Pharaoh, and he eventually joins her in an attempt to take down Oni. Pharaoh leaks a suppressed report of how Chief appeared at an outer colony embassy during peace talks between Human and Singhili. He storms in and starts a firefight that causes the death of 19 humans, abducts the human ambassador, and killed security personnel as he escorted the Singhili delegation to safety and fled the planet. The next day, they found the dead body of the ambassador. This blew up. Ben used this as leverage to rally the UNSC leaders against Oni, however, it doesn't go over too well and his pleas fall on deaf ears. Ben goes into hiding and eventually learns of footage that actually proves Master Chief's innocence. Apparently, the humans Chief killed were part of a pro-human terrorist group that aimed to ruin the peace talks. Chief essentially stopped another war, but for some reason, Oni wanted to hide it. Another thing to note is that during this whole investigation, there are also rumblings of strange anomalies occurring in the Outer Rim colonies, with some even going dark. But that's all besides the point, because with all the evidence against Oni compiled, Giroux presents his findings to a news network and goes on record against Oni. As the newscaster's team is verifying all of Giroux's evidence, everything starts to fall apart. His witnesses against Oni turn on him and claim Giroux is an insurrectionist and that all his evidence is fake. Oni got to all of Ben's witnesses and scrubbed and altered all his data so that it appears that Ben is lying. The season ends with Ben being arrested by Oni agents and taken away to an unknown location. Season 2 follows the insurrectionist Pharaoh, who was actually an Oni double agent the whole time. Pharaoh was created to help with outer colony relations, and Maya has been undercover as Pharaoh for the past 5 years. Maya gets called to her boss, who shows her a video of strange anomalies occurring on the Outer Rim worlds, causing mass destruction. She's given an AI named Black Box and is sent to the outer colonies to investigate what exactly is happening. Going to a planet where one of the anomalies occurred, Maya finds it devastated. She eventually meets with a local insurrectionist cell and finds one of her old Pharaoh followers, named Bostwick, who still doesn't know Maya is a double agent. While at an insurrectionist gathering, Maya learns that Master Chief was recently killed in action. Finding another Oni double agent within this insurrectionist cell, Ari gives Maya a chip that contains a code that can predict the locations of the anomalies. The leader of this insurrectionist cell learns of Maya and Ari's Oni ties and turns on them, killing Ari. Maya and Bostwick escape with the chip and flee to space, with Bostwick greatly distrusting Maya. In space, they run into a Jackal pirate ship and learn that Chief desecrated a holy site and unleashed something. Escaping the Jackals, they use the code and head to the planet where the anomaly will strike next. Their ship is attacked by insurrectionists, causing them to crash. They are saved by a cult following the anomalies, thinking it will bring them to their god. On the planet, Maya witnesses the anomaly firsthand, causing gravitational distortions and chaos. Maya and Bostwick head to a nearby city to release a radio transmission warning the UNSC of the destruction. Maya makes the announcement as something emerges from below, a guardian. However, before Maya can actually reveal who she is, Bostwick cuts the broadcast short and kills Maya to preserve Pharaoh as an icon and a martyr for the outer colonies. After being killed, Oni recovers Maya's still intact brain and turns her into an AI, where we learned everything we've been listening to this entire season has been an interrogation by the AI Black Box. And that's the end of Hunt the Truth. So now, allow me to summarize everything we've been told in the trailers and marketing material. Master Chief and Blue Team have done something so dire to warrant the Office of Naval Intelligence to launch campaign after campaign to reshape the narrative of John 117 for the public. Meanwhile, Outer Rim colonies are experiencing anomalies that nearly destroy everything when massive robotic entities known as Guardians rise from the ground due to unknown means. Chief has been seen at a few of these anomalous sites, but no one knows if he's the cause of the anomalies or not. However, despite all of that, Oni, wanting to preserve the legend of the Master Chief before news of his involvement with the anomalies got out, releases a statement to the public stating that Master Chief was killed in action, essentially turning him into a martyr. Meanwhile, Spartan Oni Agent Jameson Locke and Fireteam Osiris have been tasked with capturing and returning Chief and Blue Team due to their involvement with the anomalies. Locke's mission eventually leads him to contact the Arbiter for his assistance in capturing his one-time ally, because all of their lives are at stake. The story of Halo 5 Guardians is as follows. We open on Fireteam Osiris killing Jul Mdama, the leader of the Covenant Remnant, and rescuing Dr. Halsey, concluding the story set up by Spartan Ops in Halo 4. Elsewhere, Blue Team finishes a mission stopping Covenant forces from ransacking an Oni research site. During the mission, Master Chief experiences a vision of Cortana activating a giant machine and telling him Meridian is next. They destroy the Oni site and decide to head back to Meridian against their commanding officer's orders. Back with Osiris, Halsey reveals that Cortana is actually still alive and acquired control of advanced Forerunner tech. She fears that Cortana is manipulating Chief and Blue Team, so Osiris is sent to retrieve them. Osiris, constantly one step behind Blue Team, eventually catches up to them. Locke and Chief fight, with Locke cracking Chief's visor. Chief wins, and he and Blue Team escape as the Guardian rises from the ground, destroying what was left of Meridian before disappearing. Arriving on a Forerunner world, Blue Team attempts to find Cortana. Osiris, learning that another Guardian lies beneath the planet Singhelios, head to the homeworld of the Elites and meet with the Arbiter. He agrees to help them if Osiris helps end the civil war ravaging his planet. They do so, and the Covenant is now finally defeated. Singhelios is the Arbiters, and Osiris catches a ride with the Guardian to the Forerunner world. Chief and Blue Team meet with Cortana, who has gone batshit and wants to use the Guardians across the galaxy to enforce peace. Chief tries to talk her out of it, but she simply traps them. Osiris meets with the Monitor, fights their way through the Covenant stragglers and Prometheans, and saves Blue Team. However, Cortana still escapes with the Guardians and rallies all the smart AI across the galaxy to shut down everything, ushering in her rule across the galaxy. The end. Okay, so as you can tell, almost nothing from the trailers was in the final release. Chief never walked across a desert in a poncho. Chief never did anything too dire to justify Oni doing a character assassination on him. Oni, in general, was a total non-factor in the story. The confrontation of the century between Chief and Locke came down to a short 2-minute fistfight that resulted in nothing. The Hunt the Truth political intrigue and gray areas presented in the tie-in podcast was pointless. And to top it all off, the anomalies destroying colonies across the galaxy was caused by evil space Hitler Cortana. Because reasons. So what happened? Well, a lot of things actually. While we don't have a definite answer stating yes, it was this way because X, Y, and Z, one could make a pretty strong assumption based on facts. During Halo 5 Guardians development, 343 Industries, guess what, lost a lot of employees. I know, shocker, that never happens over there. Between the development of Halo 4 and Halo 5, Nicholas Bouvert replaced Kenneth Scott as Senior Art Director, Josh Holmes replaced Tim Longo as Creative Director, and Christopher Schlerf was replaced by Brian Reed as Halo franchise lead writer. After all the replacements came in, there were many rewrites and alterations to the pre-existing story. So, during development, literally all the creative heads developing the story changed midway through. Not only that, but all the marketing material was handled by a separate company. Putting the story the trailers tell next to the story the campaign tells, one can see a clear disconnect. So most likely, the advertising companies received the original script and began adapting a trailer ad campaign around that story. As they went forward with the marketing, due to negligence, irresponsibility, or lack of money to change it, 343 higher-ups deemed it fine to leave it as is. While the two share some similarities, tonally and narratively, they're drastically different in their final states. So with all that being said, a question you might be asking is, what was the original story before all the rewrites? Well, we have no idea. But we can piece together what a possibility could have been based on concept art and interviews with the developers. Apparently, the Diadact from Halo 4 was originally supposed to have some kind of role in Halo 5. At the end of Halo 4, he fell into a slip-space rupture and canonically was teleported to Gamma Halo. However, at some point during development, he was deemed to have become extraneous to the story, leading to him being cut. According to Brian Reed, they cut the Diadact from the story to allow them to be an antagonist in later stories. Right. So I imagine the Diadact was the one originally waking the Guardians, essentially filling Cortana's role in the final product. The concept art for the Diadact show him critically injured, walking with a cane, and just overall f***ed up and giving me heavy Ultron Mark I vibes. But for whatever reason, he was swapped with Cortana. However, I believe all the Diadact stuff would be a backdrop to the real story. The main story of Halo 5, I believe, would have been that Oni didn't like how Master Chief came back from the dead. They were happy with John's legend being put to rest after he went missing after the war. However, seeing that he's back and more independent than ever, they wanted to silently put the legend back to rest while propping up a new generation of Spartans. A generation that didn't have their history steeped in so much blood and suffering. Master Chief, despite all the good he's done, was literally a monument to all of their sins. However, Oni, attempting to put their plans into fruition, are interrupted as these anomalies keep occurring in Outer Rim colonies. Chief, wanting to investigate against the will of the UNSC and Oni, because they wanted to force him into retirement, goes AWOL to investigate. The last time he did go off on his own resulted in a Singhili delegation surviving when Oni wanted them to die in the attack to further cause chaos on Singhelios. Also, might I add, in the books, Oni has fucked with the Singhili quite often. They want to destabilize the Singhili to make sure they don't ever become a strong and unified force again. That was all detailed in the Kilo 5 book trilogy. Chief's mission is fine at first, however, when Chief is seen at one of these anomalies, the narrative begins to change that he's the one responsible for all the death and destruction. Oni, being paranoid as always, dispatched Fireteam Osiris and Oni Spartan Headhunter team to stop him by any means necessary. Chief's journey would lead him to some sort of desert planet, potentially Singhelios, where he would come into contact with Locke and the Arbiter. At the end of the H2A trailer, we see Locke is on some alien planet, which is Singhelios in the game. Singhelios is also slightly deserty, as seen in-game. When Locke and Arbiter hop off their Phantom, this could be sand, and the target could be Chief. So as Poncho Chief is watching a Guardian rise, Locke and the Arbiter could literally be right there with the Diadact presumably nearby as well. Now, that's a heaping spoonful of speculation totally based on one piece of concept art and a few trailers. But that's the thing, until we have a full Halo 5 original script leak, all we can do is speculate. Maybe Chief was on the Ark and looking for mendicant bias. Maybe the Master Chief hunt was added after the writers changed. And maybe, just maybe, everything is a lie, and it's all an Oni story to perpetuate the legend of the Master Chief, and Halo 4 through Infinite is all fake, and Master Chief is still adrift in the Forward Unto Dawn. One can hope. Anyway, I hope one day we can have a definite answer to all these questions. But until that day, I would love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of Halo 5? What was your interpretation of the trailers? Let's talk about that. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Until next time, take care.